Okay. Playing some rogue. First pick, I think it's pretty easy Sun Fury Protector pick. Get a little bit of synergy with Reynad and Cold Blood, but it's not quite enough. Sun Fury is a good 2-drop. 2/3s are pretty popular right now. And also just the ability to make taunt is just a pure plus. Dancing Swords versus Booty Bay. If we take Dancing Swords, we're kind of deciding on a deck archetype and try to make it a faster deck. Don't really like that. But then again, if you pick Booty Bay here, you're kind of deciding that you're making a garbage deck. I think I dislike that more. So I'll take the Dancing Swords. Silver on Knight, good card. I'll take it here. Scholar Crusader, pretty easy pick. Assassinate versus Huge Toad. So I don't think you need less 2-drops in 2, just because your hero power is so good. But I think it's okay having less 2-drops. So there's a difference there. So I still would prefer to get a lot of 2s, but if we don't, it's not a big deal. I think the Assassinate here. First Assassinate usually is pretty damn valuable. So I'll take it. Mech Warper versus Gorilla Bot. No mech so far, but I'll take the Mech Warper. 2/3 stats are pretty good. Worgen versus Silent Knight. So we have 3 plays already. Don't want to end up with that many. Probably want to end up with like 5. So since we only need 2 more to hit that number, I think we want to stay away from 3s. So I'll take the Worgen here. Device versus Flame Jeweler versus Kraken. I think this deck would do okay being a fast deck. You usually want to group like late game removal and a good early game together. We have the Assassinate, so getting a floody deck is preferable. Because in a way it counters like board clears. Because generally the way you would deal with like a big drop would be something like Assassinate or running all your little guys in. So if you don't run all your little guys in, it's like a way to prevent that from happening. I think this pick, honestly, you can go with either one of the 3. Two 2s, 1/1, 3 3s, 1/5. I think the popular pick, like most people I think would pick Kraken here. I think that pick is fine. Very often, it doesn't really matter what you pick early on, because like you don't really know until your deck is formed whether it was a good pick. Like here, you can go with either one of the 3. I think the better picks would be here or here though. I'll go with the Kraken. Sunwalker versus SI7. You do have a 1-drop, which makes the combo a little bit more likely. I'll take the Sunwalker though. It'll be our first taunt. And we don't have that many late game minions. Yeti, solid, first 4-drop. Senjin, solid, second 4-drop. One thing to keep in mind is we only have Assassinate for removal. But we do have a good early game, so I don't imagine us needing that much like AoE. Sea Giant, easy pick. Pretty straightforward here as well. Scarlet versus Harvest. This is kind of looking like more of a control deck, and the slower the deck, the better the Harvest Golem is, just because it sticks a lot better than something like Scarlet Crusader would. And if it sticks, then you're more likely to remove something with it with your hero power. Something like Scarlet is more fit, just as good as Harvest, but looking at the deck archetypes, this is better in control, and this is better in like faster decks. So knowing that, What do we think our deck is? I think our deck is a little bit slower. So I'll go with the Harvest Golem. There is also some synergy with the Mech Warper. Pretty easy Knife Juggler pick. Another Harvest Golem or a Money. 3 2-drops, 1, 2, 3, 4 3-drops. So we want to end up with 5 3-drops, but Harvest Golem is such a good 3 that I think we want to take it here. The 2-mana 2/3 is a lot easier to pick up, and you really only like super value the Amani if you have if you're playing Mage. Then Amani is like top tier. But since that's not the case, take the Harvest. Silverhand Knight seems pretty appropriate here. Could use a little bit more late game. It's a good late game card. No weapon buffs in this deck. Pit Fighter versus Spectral. I don't mind, like, the big difference with Pit Fighter and Spectral in a lot of classes is a lot of classes don't have the ping. So the Pit Fighter deals with like things with like Yeti, but Spectral Knight cannot. Imagine if you're playing like Priest or Warrior. It needs to be like helped. But since we're playing Rogue and we get the 1 damage dagger, I'm thinking maybe the effect on the card is a little bit more valuable than the 1 extra damage, since we can deal the 1 extra damage with our weapon. I think that's fine. Let's go with that. Arcane Nullifier versus Immaster versus Ogre Ninja. 3, 4, 6, 7. Don't really want another 3. So Ogre Ninja or Arcane Nullifier. But our 5 slot is looking kind of heavy. I think if we take this Ogre Ninja here, we're not gonna want to take any more 5s. And that's fine. Now all we want is spells, really. Tomb Pillager or Deadly Poison. Another tough pick. So we don't have backstabs or eviscerates in this deck. A cheap removal card would be pretty beneficial to have. But I think as a card, as like a first pick, Tomb Pillager is much better than Deadly Poison. Can't really play around with the coin too much either. We have Valid Teacher synergies with the coin. Don't really have combos. And our 3 slot is pretty good. We don't really need to like Deadly Poison a 2-drop. I'll go with the Tomb Pillager. And here's like the trio. The trio of worthless cards. Shadow Step, Conceal, and Gang Up. Do we have anything worth Shadow Stepping? North Korean Kraken. Silverhand Knight, maybe. Not really. Sun Fury, maybe. Ooh, I think we can make a lot more plays with Shadow Step than Conceal, and that's what the pick is. It's Conceal or Shadow Step. I'll go with the Shadow Step. Bomber is excellent. Maybe we can Shadow Step that. Eviscerate, okay. Ship's Cannon. 2-mana, 2/3. Good thing about this deck is we don't have a single underdrop in the entire deck. So when I say underdrop, I'm talking about like minions with like the stats that are like under what they should be. Like all our stats minions are 2/3s or 3/2s for our 2-drops. Our 3-drops are all fine. 4s, late game. We're not sacrificing tempo, so I think having one of these cards that do like an underdrop like Direwolf could be good. We do have sticky minions too. Guys that make guys, which works well with Direwolf. It's kind of like picking a spell here, just because we have so many good minions already. We don't need another just like curve play. So do you want to take the Direwolf like spell? So we're asking. I think it's okay. I think it borders on being good and just being okay. We'll try it out. Acidic Swamp Ooze. Sure. Another Kraken, I'll take it. Frost Ellie. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Frost Ellie is my first impulse. We have way too many 5s. We do have a good number of mechs for Clockwork Knight. 1, 3, 4. 4 mechs that are all played before Clockwork Knight. I think this third Silverhand Knight gets really bad, because then you're really weak to mages with flame strikes. So I'm between Clockwork Knight and Frost Ellie. Other one should be fine. Go with the Frost Ellie. Abusive. Sure, I'll take an abusive. Exhausty Deckhand ain't bad either, but we don't really have buffs for it. The only buff we have is Shattered Sun. There is also like Shadow Step stuff, but that could also be used with abusive. We'll go with the abusive. Nerubian Egg. I think the egg pick is legit. We have Direwolf Alpha and also abusive. Shattered Sun. Let's try it out. So I'd say here we went on like 2 experimental picks. We took the Direwolf over Ship's Cannon, and also we took Nerubian Egg over Imp Master. And I think those picks are fine. Imp Master we don't need because we have so many 3s already. But we'll see how it does. We ended up with 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 late game cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 drop or 4 4 drops. 2, 4, 5, 3 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 drops. I skipped the Direwolf because we'll probably try not to play that on 2, and I think our hero power would be better than that on 2. But the egg we probably would play on 2. And then 1 drops, you have 2 1 drops. So curve looks fine. Could end up with a little bit more 4s, but 4 4s is bare minimum okay. What we lack in this deck is like cheap removal. We have 1 Assassinate, but we don't have Backstab. We have 1 Eviscerate, no Deadly. But Rogue is generally pretty good at keeping aggro down, especially with the quality of 3s that we have and our hero power. I don't think we'll be missing those Backstabs or Eviscerates too much. Interesting. So against Priest, whenever I'm playing against Priest, I always think to keep my cheap removal. This kills a Dark Cultist. And if we think that way, and the Priest can't get anything on board, then they can't use their hero power, then it's very hard for you to lose to a Priest. Since most of their like game-winning plays involves them healing a minion to like regain tempo and card advantage. So I'm thinking we keep this and this. It's a matter of, do we keep just one of these or both of these? I think I'm okay with keeping both, because you might want to go into a 1-2 play, or you might want to go into a 1-2 play. And if he plays a 2-drop like a 2-3, I'd much rather play the Suntree Protector than the Knife Juggler. But if he doesn't play anything, then I'd much rather play the Knife Juggler. Okay. So, turn 1, don't need to coin anything out. You're only making yourself vulnerable to losing the coin to Shadow Word Pain or the Holy Smite. I think it's better to give him less plays here, because this is the turn where it can really, like, if his plan was to Shadow Word Pain, like, block off that plan. And now he has to play 2-drop, and if he doesn't have a 2-drop, then he skips his turn, which is a tempo gain for us. And that's really what you're looking for as player 2. You're looking for a spot to gain tempo, because you already get 1 extra card. All you need to do is get ahead. So he did skip his turn too. It doesn't mean he has Shadow Word Pain. Just means he doesn't have a 2-drop. Or if he does, it's a 3-2 and he's playing very conservatively. I think there's a lot of ways you can do this. I'll go with the slower play. I'm gonna try to combo out the Knife Juggler, because on this next turn we could even go into like a Knife Juggler coin eviscerate play onto a Dark Cultist, and then just lead on the board from there. Okay. Just play this guy out. Hard to remove for him. Wow. Really went all out there. Try to save the Knife Juggler one more time. I'm trying to get Abusive active as well. Without any kind of board here, it's gonna be difficult. Dream top decks would be Assassinate. That's pretty much it. Surprised he did that actually. And then go for this. We'll see where this hits. It's not really. I'm even thinking like Mep Warper, Coin Eviscerate is better. Because if it 50% of the time, we just need the needle to hit here or here, because then we could finish it off. But this kind of guarantees it. But it also trades down with the 1-2, where the Mech Warper would not die to the 1-2. We'll go with the safer play. So, ends up that it wasn't necessary, but it could have been.
Here we go. I got this. Oh.
Could have been necessary. Once again, I'm not really too worried about this matchup. Just want to make sure he doesn't have anything to heal or buff, which should be pretty soon. He's gonna need a pretty big play here. Interesting. Don't think it's necessary to trade for that. There was some like interesting stuff you could do with like Cure Power and the Mech Warper and Shadow Step and trading first at the 1-1 so the needle hits here, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm just gonna try to kill him. And a lot of that stuff can just be done next turn.
Let the dark consume you.
We have 9, 12, 14, 15. So free trade here, free trade here. The goal is to kill this with this. The problem is if we do buff up, we're way too weak against Holy Nova. Guess we can brew back as well. I'll do this, and we'll see how the needle hits. That's pretty unlucky. Play this one. Now we can Shadow Step back. Shadow Step.
Here we go.
The other play is to just trade our Knife Juggler in and save the Shadow Step. Because only 50% of the time would we actually save the Knife Juggler. That's probably smart.
I got this.
Okay, good coin.
I got this. Here we go.
Here you might be thinking maybe we should Shadow Step the Kraken back, but think about it this way. You Shadow Step it back, you have guaranteed 4 damage, but without Shadow Stepping back, you also save all that mana of playing it next turn, but also threaten him for 5 more. Pretty good. His Death Lord play was good, like really strong, but fortunately we kept that Eviscerate in our opening hand. It actually made a big deal. That's kind of why, like you can tell, like at that point it was just him buffing up one guy and healing it for value and tempo. And that's why Eviscerate or, you know, just removal is so good in that matchup. Generally, like, just any like a removal against Priest, like eventually will come in hand. Because they can't really grab the board without just like one huge guy. They never really flood.
Watch your back.
That's it. So we don't need a 4-drop yet. We have 4 4-drops in the deck. It's more likely than not that we draw into a 4-drop by turn 4. So it kind of looks obvious what our plays will be, but it gives us more options if we give ourselves a chance to draw into like a 2-mana 2/3, and that's why we toss back the 4-drop. Here, yeah, I do think it's okay to Hero Power actually. Yeah, I'll Hero Power, save the Ooze. Only because they're Rogue. If we were any other class, Hero Power here would be a pretty big misstep. So here I don't want to play Dancing Swords. And also we may want to consider hitting, and I think I will. So we don't want to play Dancing Swords just because he has the option to like Archer Protector. We never want to play things that trade 1 for 1 when we're behind a board against Paladin. Rather keep things unresolved. Okay. So here's the Blessing of King's turn. The Blessing of Kings, we're going to struggle quite a bit with it. What is the bigger threat if he buffs it up? Probably this guy, but he probably would have Blessing of Kings if he had it. I want to use the Abusive, because otherwise you have to do 3-1-1. I'll play the Tomb Pillager. We'll get rid of the 3-5. It's a very similar board to what he was playing against last turn. There's no buffs that are activated now that weren't activated last turn. So unless he top decks Blessing of Kings, this is fine. Okay, we just take our trade. I think it's fine to slow down here. I'll hit him once even. Because next turn I think it's very likely we don't have enough cards to play. We're gonna hear power again. Okay, check for Noble Sack. It's not Noble Sack. Not Repentance or Sacred Trial. It's Redemption, huh? Pretty strong Redemption, actually. I'll trade here. It's a really good Redemption. Usually I'll put the secret on something like Avenge, which is why I popped it. Trying to get rid of it before it becomes a problem. Okay. Have some awkward trades here, but I'll go for the aggressive play. He's 9 damage off. So I'm going for a more aggressive route just because we're down cards. It's a really fine balance. Like whenever you feel like you're going to lose the card advantage game, you should be putting the pressure up. And whenever you feel like you're going to win the card advantage play, you should just make slower plays into like removal. Or take the time to develop those slow cards. Okay, it's a pretty big threat. Just get rid of it. We have board control. No lethal setup, but usually with this much power you can remove like any threat that's gonna give him lethal over 2 turns. Okay. And either one of these is fine. I guess I'll kill here. Just don't want to die. With Blessing of Kings, he's 1-off lethal. I'd like to see him kill like the 2/2. That'd be interesting. Oh, going for the interesting route. I like it. I like his how he thought about that. It's smart because the 6/2 doesn't guarantee his damage to his face, and realistically, if you're gonna win, you kind of need to play in that way. So smart play from him, just didn't work out.
You asked for it. Watch your back.
We'll keep both the 2s for options. There's a card. Good. Now we're happy that we kept our options open. Our first impulse was to just keep the 3/2, but this works out really well. So we definitely want to play Ooze here, just so we can check. I guess now we can play Abusive. I think that's fine.
Here we go.
Worked out pretty well. Now he's stuck in a spot where he has to ping on 3. Okay. Had to get my socks off. So kind of a slow turn here. No biggie though. Don't think it's necessary to double hit that one too. Because the line of play, he can go through his hit ping and then play 2. So they'll just go with that line.
Here we go.
Here I think Silverhand Knight is much better. On an empty board, you generally want to play Silverhand Knight over almost any other 5-drop. Just the ability to make 2 guys at trades gives you a lot better trades than just on like a 4/6. It's not like a 4/6 is more of a value trade, which is better when you're behind on board. Slow turn. Just gonna play on curve. Wow. Removal heavy deck, huh? So he does have Flame Strike. Not too sad if he Flame Strikes here. We can just redevelop with Harvest Golem Spectral. Looks like we're gonna be ahead for a while.
What to do? What to do?
Truth is my shield.
Okay.
Here we go.
He doesn't have Flame Strike ping. I'll go with this instead.
You insist.
This guy survives just like the Harvest Golem does to Flame Strike. Survives as 3-1 though. Plus it gives us more diverse damage, which was the problem we had this turn. Like if this was a Scarlet, then we could have killed the Sunwalker without the 5-4. But instead of having like 2-2 and 2 damage, we can have 2-2-3.
For the crusade! Let the pain speak to me.
Okay. We could Kraken. I choose not to, since our hero power is so good here. You can't ping the Spectral after Flame Strike. I think it's worth doing this. And saving Scarlet. It's another -2 mana to him for him to ping this. So we're 2 off lethal. We have a Viscerate top deck for lethal. I don't need to use coin. This is the problem with coin. It's never like that great of a spot to coin out on. It makes your like the turn following your coin way too obvious. Like you coin out Senjin on 3. What do you think's coming on 4? I think the power of the coin is it's more of like the ability, or even like just like bluffing they have another card if they don't keep track of your coin. This is why player 1 has a big advantage. Coin just isn't worth it.
Valera versus Malfurion. I must protect the one.
Watch your back.
Okay, I'll keep Harvest just in case. It's a decent hand. We have a good curve, so playing the 1-on-1 is good. Like if we didn't have a 2-drop or a 3-drop in our hand, then we definitely would not play this. Because having him slow down doesn't benefit us. But here, because he's slowed down, he's not playing a 2-drop, which gets our 2-drop the trade. The trade initiative. Ooh. Alright, coin might be pretty good here. Guess we'll find out. Yeah, coin's pretty good here. It's pretty nasty, huh? Okay. Not a big deal. They just drew the claws out. We need something to assassinate. Or we need to draw into another 3-drop. Hit the 4-5. Okay. So I'm taking the damage on the Yeti, because if you think about it the other way, we kill this, right? We taunt up the Yeti. It's less likely that this will survive his next hit. So here, in this case, it's really good, because he's playing big cards from here on out, and so we want to get the value from the health of the Yeti. Do we want to trade? Yes. Okay.
I got it.
So he has 2 targets he wants to hero power. Now we can save the assassinate for an Ironbark. Ooh. Love to get the Sea Giant out, but kind of want him to Ironbark. If he hero powers, if we kill this, right, with our hero power, yes, the hero power, he can't Ironbark, then we can't use Assassinate. So I guess Sea Giant is better. This allows him to kill the Sunwalker with hero power, but hopefully just Ironbarks, in which this sign would be pretty strong. Kind of bad ordering there.
For the crusade!
I'll do this. Hitting him with this and having him hit back is like doing 8 damage to his face, since he has to take another 4 here. Also, it blocks off Ironbark and we don't have any more Assassinates in our hand.
Well played.
Well played.
Pretty good game there. What was game winning? I don't think anything was game winning. Kind of just had small edges here and there. I think Yeti trading the way we traded the Yeti was a huge deal though. Because even if he played Mech Bearcat instead of the Pilot Sky Golem, that trade would have been good, because then we would have gotten 2 hits in with the Yeti. 8 damage from it instead of 4. Okay, that's a lot of 2-drops. It's like the one with the highest health here. Ooh. I'll hit him. So he can do hit and play 3. We have access to his 3-drop. And whatever we hit, even if it's like an Ogre Brute, we can protect it with this engine.
What to do? What to do?
Incredibly slow play. So you could like Knife Juggler or Sun Fury, even protect the Knife Juggler. I think that plays fine. Even produces more damage on the board than this play does, but generally with like bigger cards, it's a lot harder than to fit them into your curves than lower like cheaper cards are. But these two drops you can throw it at any time. It's also better against like buffs and cheap removal like Frostbolt.
What to do? What to do?
Ooh, there's the cheap removal. Okay. Same reasoning.
What to do? What to do?
What do you aim at your face and then add a 4/4 Yeti? Earthen? I don't get it.
What to do? What to do?
Why would you aim that at your face? Alright. I think it's okay to flood here. It's not on Flame Strike yet. I'll hear power though, slow down. Plays on MC Tech too. And I think we have the luxury of playing on MC Tech here. Pretty far ahead in damage, so don't have to worry about getting out tempoed.
What to do? What to do?
Tastingo! Yes.
Okay. I think Assassinate's fine here. Don't really want to sacrifice damage. Yeah, let's try it out. Assassinate, play the Sun Fury. If it hits, then we hit with our weapon. Nice.
We go.
And I'm thinking about ending the video here. I don't want the videos to be too long. People tend to dislike really long videos.
We're gonna be rich.
Whoa. Almost. Almost, man. Even if it did heal, he'd probably still lose. Yeah, people tend to dislike really long videos, so I'll end it here. And that's Rogue. We'll do another one of these videos next week. If you have any questions, just post them up in comments, and I'll probably check back like once or twice. I'll try to like answer a couple of them. If you enjoyed that, I'm Ratsmah. You can check out my stream at twitch.tv/Ratsmah, and yeah, we'll be back next week. See ya.